when you're a CSP and you create Azure subscriptions for customers, if you don't have delegated admin rights to their Azure Active Directory, then you can easily end up in a situation where you have subscriptions that you can't access and neither can the client. There's a way around this. I'm going to try and explain the problem in this video and how you get there and how to get around it. But the purpose of this video really is to try and show this, to try and see there must be a better way of setting this up that works a bit better. Specifically, this problem has to do with when you do not have delegated access rights to their Office 365, or sorry, the Azure AD. So what I want to simulate is, if you go into request a reseller relationship here, you can untick this box. Now, if somebody already has Office 365 and you're just going to sell them Azure, that's what you would want, because they're not going to want to give you access to their Office 365. Now, if I show you so I can't obviously invite somebody. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a customer, and then I'm going to untick that box on their side to sort of show the pain point. Right, so I'm going to log into admin.microsoft.com using this new account that I've literally just set up. Right, so what I'm going to do is under settings, partner relationships, new orbit. I'm just going to remove delegate admin, okay? Because when I do that, then that will be the equivalent of having sent that invite without the tick in request delegate admin. So I'm going to do that and remove delegate. Here we go. Fantastic. Okay, so now we have the customer set up without delegated admin, just like if we had invited them into a reseller relationship without ticking the box to get delegated admin, which is what we're here to investigate. So I'm going to add a subscription. There we go. So if I now look at subscriptions, we can now see this customer has an Azure Plan subscription. Yay, life is good. Subscription ID and all of that. Now, as you will notice, because I don't have delegated admin, I don't get the manage resources buttons from here or here, so I can't access this subscription in any meaningful way. And that's a problem, because currently nobody has access to this subscription. If I go to, so I can try, no, let me see what the client sees first. So let's see if the client logs in to the portal. So this is the client over in this tab. So this is my customer login. And you will see that they can't see any subscriptions. They've got nothing. If I log in, I can go to, so let's just do that. So back on me, I can, because it's Lighthouse, I should be able to see them now. Yep, so if I go to Lighthouse, I can see my customers here. I can see I've got test 2 there. I can see they have a subscription. I can click through to them. You know, I can see their subscription here, but again, I can't do anything with it. If I go to manage resources, you know, I see this, which I don't actually think is doing it well, because I haven't got any real access. But I certainly can't give the client access to it. Interestingly enough, I can add another subscription. Let's just try and do that for a minute. This is, by the way, the only place I can do that, because you might know that back in the Partner Center with Azure Plan, I cannot add a second subscription in the Partner Center like I used to. I have to come in here to add a second subscription. Okay, that's quite an important thing to understand. So I can add it there, and you know what I have to do is say this is a test sub, and I would say that this is, I have to do this Partner Center customer for commerce route thing. And if I do that, and it's for test 2 limited, so that's fine. That's, you have to do it here now rather than in the Partner Center like you used to. There we go. Now you can see it here. Now I can see it in the Partner Center if I refresh here. Open this one up. You can see there's now 2 subscriptions. Now, here's the interesting thing. In the Partner Center, you get this little link to manage here, which isn't supposed to be there. Because if you see, if I click on that, it just takes me back to the Partner Center. So clearly that link is defunct when you don't have delegated admin. If I had delegated admin rights, that link would take me through to the Azure portal and I could do stuff. Similar, there would be something up here that would allow me to manage them. But when I don't have the delegated admin, when I don't have the rights to the Azure Active Directory, there's no way I can get access to the subscription. Now, if we look at the client, they still can't see anything. I can refresh that. They've still got nothing. So the only way that I found to deal with this, so basically we have the subscriptions that have been created, but nobody has access to them. Now, the one way I found to deal with this, so this is now as the client, if I go to my Azure Active Directory and I go to Properties, I have this thing down here, Access Management for Azure Resources, and that really is the only way. I only found that very recently. I click that to yes, save it. And then I can, then I have to log in again. Then I can see the subscriptions. Yay! So that's basically the way around it, but by default it's an empty one. So what it means is, if I don't have delegated admin access to Azure AD, when I create a subscription, by default I won't even have access to it. Nobody has access to it. I have to tell my client to go in and tick that box in their AD settings, and then they can go into the subscription, and then they can go in on the access control and give other users access, or they can give me access using Lighthouse or whatever. And that's fundamentally it.